SEMA with me and my 1963 Rambler American Wagon. This car started out as your early 60s baseline, very, very basic grocery getter. I bought the wagon because I wanted something different. I autocross, and I was autocrossing our 68 Camaro. I was lucky enough to drive a really cool muscle car. But I wanted something different. I wanted something that wasn't a Camaro, and I really thought that I wanted a wagon because I was really tired of packing all of our crap to go racing in the tiny trunk of a Camaro. So I started looking, and I needed something with a smaller wheelbase. So I found this cute little Rambler, and I rescued it out of a trailer park under a blue tarp, and thankfully it was in Northern California, so it didn't have a lot of rust. We pulled out the flathead 6 and the 3-speed transmission, and I thought, that'll be okay. I had just started autocrossing. I didn't need a lot of horsepower, and 3 in the tree was fine because I was never going to get out of first gear. Well, about another 2 months go by, and I start autocrossing more in our higher-powered Camaro, and realized that 80 horsepower in a flathead 6, I'm going nowhere. I'm gonna literally look like a moped going around the autocross. So therein lies the impetus for a lot of this build. So quickly it was, okay, get an LS motor. We salvaged a 5.3 liter LS motor. Did a few modifications, but nothing that's going to give it outrageous horsepower. Picked up a $700 Ford transmission with an Autocross valve body. They actually make a valve body for automatic transmissions that allow you to have engine braking. And so that, combined with a ratchet shifter, I'm golden on the Autocross. I'm going to gain time, actually, on the clock. Okay, so we've got the power plant. What are we doing for the complete drivetrain? We built we put in a first-gen Camaro subframe in the front, and we put in a fifth-gen independent rear suspension in the rear. And the reason for that is the first-gen, you can get performance parts all day long for a first-gen Camaro. And that enabled us to build out a custom suspension that turns on a dime. And that allowed us to get the appropriate alignment and caster and all that. So the fifth gen ended up being independent rear suspension, which combined with a 101-inch wheelbase, I've got the Corvette. Then it became, okay, we're going to have to put tires to support all of this. So we went to BFG and we got some 315 Rival S tires, wrapped those on some 18 10.5 US Mags wheels. So I'm running very square. I'm an 80-inch wheel track width with an 101-inch wheelbase, and I've got 50-50 weight balance. So I should be a rocket on rails, hopefully. But that then led to 8.5-inch fender flares. In photos, it looks a little ridiculous. They look very extreme. In person, as you probably can attest, they're not quite that bad, but they're big. They're big. I can proudly say that we did this all at home in our 2-car garage with no lift. We own about a dozen jack stands and a lot of 2x4s. So we did everything on this car mechanically, electrically, interior. I sewed all the interior myself, except for paint. I have a very dear friend who's a master painter, and he insisted that he help us out with that. And so not only did I get a race car, I actually got a show car on top of it all. We bought the car 6 years ago. We started to take it apart and start on the build, and we moved across the country, so we had to put it all back together and put it on a trailer. All told, we're probably about 3 years in, with most of it being the last 9 months. I could not do this without a lot of help. I had companies come on board when they saw the project and its unique appearance, like Bear Brakes came on board, Viking Performance came on board with fully automated shock system, which is just through the roof amazing. I had No Limit Customs engineered those fender flares for me, and they did it from a distance. They never saw the car. So Rob McGregor is a master at what he does, fabricating. US Mags worked with me. We have some issues with tires in the autocross industry and be able to get enough tires printed in the right size. So I needed a 10.5 so I could go a 315, or I could go down to as low as a 295. And they were like, we love the car, we think it's awesome, let's do this. So they made custom wheels for me. And when you've got Ring Brothers and Roadster Shop and Goolsby's Customs and these just amazing builders, and we roll in with our 2-car garage build, it feels pretty good. We got the golden ticket to Optima to race, and we kind of got the pinnacle. We got the best hot rod for the Gran Turismo Awards, and that was that's like an over-the-top achievement. So, as a grandmother, going into the Gran Turismo Awards, it felt pretty good to walk away with the trophy. So yeah, I'm real happy.